Rylan Clark has been caught up in a shock Twitter feud with an IMA celebrity star who told him to get real. The 33-year-old took to social media to comment on the latest revelations about Boris Johnson, catching the attention of Edwina Curry. 3. Rylan found himself caught up in a Twitter spam credit, ITV. 3. Edwina disagreed with Rylan's tweet about the PMCredit, Ken McKay/ITV/Rex/Shutterstock. Presenter Rylan wrote, "He's officially broke the law. That's it, ain't it?" But Edwina, 75, who appeared on IMA Celeb in 2014, clearly disagreed, telling him, "No, it isn't. Shouldn't have happened, but it's done now." In case you hadn't noticed, this all happened 2 years ago. Putin is laughing at us. Get real. But strictly, it takes two, host Rylan quipped. "Edwina, there's a war, we're living with COVID, there's a lot going on publicly and personally. I'm aware when it was. Believe me, I don't need to get real, it's a statement. Not an opinion. You stay well, as will I." Posting on his Instagram story, Rylan, who was also giving fans updates on a squirrel who's been visiting his garden, he added, "Twitter beef with Edwina Curry at 7 a.m. Not today, babe. Got a squirrel to feed." Prime Minister Boris gave a humble apology yesterday after being fined for breaking lockdown rules. He nearly died weeks before his 56th birthday, so when the day arrived in June 2020, his closest aides were determined to mark the occasion in some way. The 9 minutes they spent in the cabinet room singing happy birthday to a bemused Prime Minister landed him in hot water. Following his near-fatal bout of COVID, he had been more keen on celebrating the reopening of schools than his birthday. As he walked back into number 10, fresh from a visit to pupils in Hertfordshire, an aide pulled him aside to say there was something he needed to see next door. In his usual disheveled way, the PM slapped his forehead and ruffled his hair when greeted by a handful of staffers awkwardly holding some sad-looking Marks and Spencer snacks. One source said, "The bloke had nearly died, so it felt weird not to mark it in some way, but it was hardly a party." After his brush with death, Mr. Johnson was on a health kick, so opted for a salad in a plastic pot. Slightly curling sausage rolls and a snack pot of chocolate bites were largely ignored on the famous cabinet table. 4 cans of warm Estrella lager were left untouched next to them, insiders say. As they stood there chatting, awkwardly but socially distanced, Chancellor Rishi Sunak turned up for a meeting but briefly joined in to wish him all the best. Mr. Johnson's wife Carrie swung by with their newborn baby, Wilf, in her arms. Pals insist reports that she bought a Union Jack emblazoned birthday cake carbowl. That is backed by witnesses who are adamant there was no cake. Cabinet Secretary Simon Case, the country's top civil servant, was also there ahead of a crunch COVID meeting to decide how to speed up the country's journey from the first lockdown. But fatally, The PM's official snapper thought it wise to take a picture of the gathering for posterity. Then they got back to work. Downing Street staff thought it was a kind gesture for their boss given the gravity of his health scare. But the police now say that was against the law, and the PM has grudgingly accepted that finding and paid his fine. 3. Prime Minister Boris gave a humble apology yesterday after being fined for breaking lockdown rules. Credit Daniel Leal/AFP via Getty Images.